So it seems to me it's kind of confusing that you're apologizing, but you're actually not saying you've done anything wrong.
Well, relative to what your original question is, I've sent a statement out, and I can get you that statement if you'd like.
I've seen the statement. I'm just wondering. You said you apologize for this error, but if the money was yours, what error did you make?
Well, my statement will speak for itself.
It doesn't really speak for itself because it's not clear what you're apologizing for.
Well, I've issued a statement on a couple of different things, so I'll let that speak for itself.
Do you think it's appropriate to, have told constituents and voters that, this was your money and it's not?
As I said, the statement that I have issued and the interviews I gave back home will speak for themselves.
But with all due respect, it doesn't really speak for itself. I'm just looking for answers.
I've issued a statement on it.
Well, the statement's not clear, though. It doesn't speak for itself, though. And with all due respect, don't you think you owe voters that clarity? I'm not trying to play a gotcha game with you. I'm asking, to be clear. And you said you were going to be clear with the press and everything.
Well, I've had a lot of interviews today, and I have several statements on this, so I'll let that speak for itself.
But it's not speaking for itself. So frankly, if the Senator Ada is saying you should resign, what do you make of that? Should you resign? Do you feel like?
I issued a statement about her comments earlier today, and you can refer back to that statement.
Did you do anything wrong? Was this your money?
I will absolutely let you refer back to all the statements that
I've seen the statements. That's not what I'm asking about. Respectfully, you don't think you owe voters this explanation? You've said in the past that, this was your money. That turns out to be a lie, correct?
Well, if you look at the statement, that's not accurate.
Well, then what are you apologizing for if it's not clear? I'm not meaning to ambush you here. I'm just, your position seems somewhat untenable that you're saying, I apologize. You've implicitly sort of said you've done some wrongdoing here, but you're also not saying you've actually done any wrongdoing. So, what do we make of that?
Well, I'm on my way to votes. I've given multiple statements on these issues. If you want to call Jay to schedule a time where we can meet when it's more appropriate, I'd be happy to do that.
I'm just wondering, though. You've said this was your money. The FEC says it wasn't. You agreed to that penalty. If this was your money, why would you agree to that?
Call Jay, set up a meeting.
That's not an answer, sir.
I'm on my way to
respectfully.
Votes, and I've issued multiple statements on these questions. But
your statements don't answer those questions, though. You apologize for something, but to me it doesn't seem clear that you're apologizing for anything more than having forgotten an account exists. Correct?
I'd be happy to have you call Jay.
What are you apologizing for?
Well, you can go back and take a look at that note that I sent
I've looked at it, but I don't see what if your position is that this was your money, then you have nothing to apologize for, correct?
Well, you have the note that I sent.
Is it appropriate for you to stay in office if this was not your money?
You have the comments that I've made. You have the note. If you'd like to set up a time, that's more appropriate.
I'm glad to set up a time,
call Jay.
But I haven't received an answer from you on any of these questions.
Well, I have to get off the votes.
We just did 5 minutes here of you telling me to look at the statement, right?
I'm heading to votes.
I'm not trying to play games here. Don't you think you owe voters that explanation?
I've done a lot of interviews back home. If you'd like to call Jay, set up a time where we can talk. I have votes right now.
Okay, so if the financial disclosures come out, you said you were going to release these financial statements. If they come out and it turns out it was not your money, should you resign?
I've already made my comments about all of that earlier today.
Well, would you mind just sharing with me your comment, your feeling on that?
Please call Jay, set up a time where we can talk, and I'm happy to
So
do
will you sit
that.
down
I
with me
have
this
to.
week?
I'm literally walking in to
I understand.
to
Will you
votes.
sit down with me this week?
Call Jay to set up a time where we can meet. I'm
This
happy to
week?
have you call Jay and sit down.
Going up.
Set up a time.
All right.